BlissFULLheart channel. I am Desiree Lee, here to give you your weekly Bliss Fix and Energy read for the collective of December 22nd to December 28th, 2017. Hi, welcome back to my channel, to all my subscribers, and for anyone that's new, I do energy reads for your soul self as well as twin flame guidance readings. This is the energy read for the week of December 22nd to the 28th. We've got some really obviously big things happening. For those of us that celebrate Christmas, we have Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, which are, just very much symbolically supercharged with salvation and redemption and growth. And then, if you practice Hanukkah or other celebratory holidays for this energy, it's all like part of the same stream of consciousness as far as I'm concerned. It's all blessed by the universal consciousness. I want to thank all of my subscribers. You guys mean so much to me. Thank you so much for your prayers and blessings. And, thank you for those of you that were a part of the new moon reading that just happened. There's definitely like some really powerful change happening. And just as a side note, you might hear some sawing and some noise in the background today. They're cutting a big tree down outside of my place, so I apologize in advance for the background noise, but I've been trying to wait for it to end, and this is just as good as it gets right now. So just try to ignore that. Let's see. I'm still offering my 15% coupon code. This is the last week that I'll be offering that with the coupon code BLISSMISS. It's also in the description box below. But if you go to my website, DesireeNicoleLee.com, you can get 15% off any of my readings. So make sure to take advantage of that opportunity this week. And I am sending you all such a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever holiday you're celebrating. Many, many blessings to you on your journey. Let's go ahead and get started in this energy read. Before I do, I'm going to share the decks that I'm using today. I'm going to be using the Green Witch Tarot. I used to use this quite a bit ago. It's been a while, and it called out to me today to get used, so we will be using that, as well as the Divination of the Ancients Oracle card. These ones, I'm kind of like on the fence about. Sometimes they hit right on point. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know. They're okay, but I am going to use them today, I feel, because they called out to me, so I feel like they really want to talk today. And then I'm also going to be bringing in the Sacred Rebels Oracle cards as our final message. And then, of course, I'll be using my numerology oracle deck, and I'll also be using the Whispers of Love oracle. Those ones I use pretty regularly, so they shouldn't be a surprise to you. But let's go ahead and get started. We're going to take a look at the overall energy for the collective consciousness for the week of December 22nd to December 28th. Angels of Truth, Love, and Light. What is the overall energy of this week? What do we need to be aware of? Environment, card 44. Interesting. And then alongside that, I am going to pull from, the Akashic Tarot. This deck I have recently brought on the scene, and it's going to be just the message card for the overall energy. Angels of Truth, Love, and Light. We have Environment, card 44, for the week of December 22nd to the 28th, and the War of the Roses, 6 of Roses. So the roses are cups. Interesting. Okay, so let's pull those cards up on the screen. We have 44, Environment, and 6 of Roses, the War of Roses. So Environment card can be taken in multiple ways. 44 is definitely like angel blessings. This kind of came up in the new moon reading that there might be a change in your career or job environment. And then in a more extreme sense, if there are people in karmic relationships, there could be a change in that home environment. Things ending or things beginning. It's accompanied with the War of the Roses, which is about like an impasse in a relationship. And this is something that has been like notable on my radar for my private reads, is that, some twin flame experiences are incredibly toxic and unhealthy. And, there is the potential or the possibility, I want to say, of your divine masculine not being prepared or adequate enough to show up to be a divine masculine partner at this point in time. And so really what I'm hearing right now, and again, so Spirit just wants me to say, it could also be with coworkers or job environment, your manager. I mean, this is talking about a rift in a relationship of any kind, okay? And so what Spirit is saying is that the energy of this week is really about detoxifying our environment and detoxifying unhealthy relationships. Again, you know, I don't want to make it about just twin flame, because it's definitely not just about that. If you're a divine feminine on this journey to complete yourself and to find wholeness in your life, you could potentially be in a very negative experience, either with roommates, if you have roommates, or your job, or possibly your divine masculine. That is a possible space. I have noticed that there are quite a few divine feminines that are allowing their divine masculine to kind of take advantage of their kindness and their unconditional love. And, you know, if we're really listening to our intuition and the signs, we know, like, there's a time for us to be unconditionally loving and supportive, and then there's also a time for us to draw boundaries and pull back. So one of the things I just want to empower any divine feminine that is being unappreciated or treated poorly in something that she believes or he believes is a twin flame relationship, that if you pull back and you cut cords, you can't really cut cords, but cut energetic ties, don't worry, it's not like the end of your union. And in fact, it definitely represents more as like showing up for yourself and standing up for who you are. It's like more about self-worth and self-respect. So the overall energy of this week, which I find interesting, is about purifying any sick, unhealthy relationships. It could be with friends, it could be with family, you know, but we're really like getting rid of dead weight is what Spirit just gave me. Getting rid of dead weight. Okay, so now we're going to look at the week, and we're going to start with the Green Witch Tarot. Yes, and I'm going to ask the angels of truth, love, and light. What are we looking at for the early part of the week of December 22nd to the 28th? Thank you, God. Thank you, angels. Early part of the week. We have 10 of chalices. This is the 10 of cups, and it's a very, very positive card to have in the beginning of the week. And then when we look at the middle of the week, Spirit, what do we have? We have the 9 of Pentacles, also an incredibly optimistic card about, you know, abundance and family and stability. And then when we go to the end of the week, we have Queen of Pentacles, even more like an uprising from the 9 of Pentacles. And I was thinking, you know, after I talked about the 9 of Pentacles, that that's also during Christmas, right? Or Christmas, recently after Christmas anyway. Okay, so let me go ahead and get into the divination of the ancients. And I'm going to ask them to echo or add on to the messages from the Green Witch Tarot, Angels of Truth, Love, and Light. The early part of the week, we have the 10 of Chalices and geomancy. Patience, okay? No numbers for these cards. So that's coming with the 10 of Chalices. And then the 9 of Pentacles, Spirit. What energy is accompanying the 9 of Pentacles? Agham, nature. Interesting, because I just got a ding that that's connected with environment, right? I feel like that showed up in my new moon reading, environment and nature. And then for the ending part of the week, we have Queen of Pentacles and Scrying Mirror, projection. Interesting. Yeah. Well, these cards did not disappoint today. I've always been iffy about them. Okay, so then the Sacred Rebels Oracle, Angels of Truth, Love, and Light. What is showing up for the Sacred Rebels Oracle for our overall message of the week of December 22nd to the 28th? What is showing up as our overall message? Card 26, which is an 8, relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. Ooh, that looks really intense. One of the cards that I didn't pull from, and I'm going to just add it on here at the tail end for our overall message, It's from the Whispers of Love. And I'm going to ask the Angels of Truth, Love, and Light, what is you would like to add on to the overall message of December 22nd to the 28th. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Back to what you love. Your current situation is giving you an opportunity to reevaluate what you want. Yeah, and I feel like this definitely echoes the messages that we got as the overall energy, and that's card number 3. All right, so I'm going to take a moment to sit with these cards, and I will be right back. Okay, so I've had a minute to sit with the cards, and I can say that I'm only slightly surprised. A lot of these messages were in the new moon reading, which is still on my Facebook page if you want to view it. But apparently a lot of you are undergoing some significant change in relationships and or career. We're definitely looking at detoxifying our environment, which was the overall energy for the week, and we see that play out this week. So let's look at the early part of the week, December 22nd, 23rd. So we're looking at Christmas Eve, maybe Christmas Day, 10 of Chalices, and Geomancy, Patience. So the 10 of Chalices is talking about family, union. Now this may or may not apply to twin flame. Remember, this is an energy read, so this could just be getting together with your family. You know, some of you have kids, some of you don't, some of you are like involved in, you know, a divorce, and you know, there's like family, okay? And so there's this idea of like feeling like our cups are full, that we're incredibly satisfied and blessed. I feel like this is definitely like Christmas Eve energy of like feeling blessed, and you know, and I am hearing that there's like this split in what we're experiencing, right? Because for most of us that aren't in union, you know, it's like you're celebrating what you have and you're feeling blessed and full, and at the same time you feel like this desire, this aching for more. All divine feminines are really being called out to show up. This is one of the things that Spirit really wants me to get out there, is that, you know, even if you're not in union, as a divine feminine, when you're doing the work, your mission work, and showing up, like you are completing something and participating in the evolution of light, which is really what our job is, right? Union is like a secondary, maybe even a tertiary thing, like, but to be in a space of self-love and self-respect and to be showing up, right? So the Geomancy card is talking about patience. It's saying that you are feeling or sensing or knowing that it is time for change in your life, and you have this like great desire to grow and expand as a soul living on this planet. And you can kind of feel this thing that's coming, okay? And it is coming. And I already know that some of you are already undergoing that change. Some of you are in the process of it. And some of you are starting to get a taste of it, right? So it's like there's a gradation there. But in the early part of the week, Christmas Eve, we're looking at this like really interesting balance of feeling full and complete and joyous and blessed and grateful for what we have. Gratitude. Let's just like bow to gratitude, because gratitude is so enormous. And then also feeling a little anxious, a little anticipatory about what's to come, what you're supposed to do. And then we go into the middle of the week, and we have 9 of Pentacles and Ogam, nature. So we're looking at the 25th, 26th, maybe the 27th, right? And the 9 of Pentacles, again, is another like grounding family. I mean, there's a lot of family coming through. It's about stability. It's about success. It's about having a foundation and a home. And so I feel like there's this really strong sense of connectedness with our family. Again, Spirit's telling me that there's this really interesting rift between like, I am so grateful for my family, and maybe you have an ex-husband or whatever, you know, like maybe you have some other weird split in your family situation, or maybe you come from divorced parents, but I'm feeling like really an overwhelming sense of gratitude, which is so great. I love that the whole theme of this week is this space of gratitude and feeling fulfilled. But then we come into the Ogam, nature, and so that card is talking about like getting connected with our environment. Again, the environment card is the overall energy. and sifting out what is no longer working. And so what I can say to people that on my journey, I definitely entered a space where I was like, it's time for me to draw some boundaries and to set some lines. And that might be, not spending time with people that are detrimental to you during the holidays. It might mean that you do spend time with them, but you show up in a different way where you're stronger and more capable of like deflecting negative energy. And so again, I always say this, like when we get around family, we get very triggered. And if you have evolved spiritually and you're in a space of feeling like confronted by a lot of your old, like more childhood wounds during the holidays, to get connected with nature and to reconnect with who you are and who you become, and to find your breath and to find that sense of presence so that you can show up with like kindness and compassion and patience. And because again, you're dealing with like this really overwhelming sense of growth in your life, and you are feeling called to remove negative energy from your life. This is happening, and again, I feel like for a lot of people, 30 to 40% of you, it is about career change. And then for some people, again, it's career change, maybe family, maybe friends. And then again, there's another group of people where it is twin flame. And, I've definitely heard some feedback from some divine feminines that are like, yeah, I just basically told my twin, like, I'm here, whatever, good luck, And I feel like a lot of divine feminines need to understand that that is part of the journey, is like standing up for yourself. You cannot always be a doormat for your twin, okay? And so then in the tail end of the week, we have Queen of Pentacles and Scrying Mirror Projection. So the Queen of Pentacles is like about success. It's about reciprocating the abundance of the fruits of your labor, of having a sense of stability and feeling accomplished, okay? So this is like the 26th, 27th, 28th, around there. And then we also have the Scrying Mirror Projection. It's really interesting to me. I feel like this whole week is the Oracle cards have been offering like the darker end of a positive experience. And so, we are both light and dark, and these cards are definitely talking about that. The Scrying Mirror is like talking about being careful about having wants and desires that override what is necessary at this time. So if you're obsessed with something, perhaps your twin flame journey, to recognize like what is really going on in that journey and in your life, and to reset your goals, okay? So there is this calling out of like looking at yourself in the mirror and seeing yourself as beautiful, whole, and complete, and then accepting what you are and letting go of that which is not necessary or desired at this time. So it is about like being conscious of wants and desires versus needs, and what's really happening, that you can get blinded by your desires. And I wanted to share the incantation for this card. It says, my heart is finally set free from thoughts of how I must have it be. Mirror, mirror, as I scry, I see my one true love, 'tis I. Yeah, so it's like a big calling out of like self-love and acceptance and surrender. I feel like there's definitely this like desire to from spirit for you to accept who you are and love yourself in this space and be grateful for what you have and allow. So the ultimate guidance message, I pulled 2 cards. We have 3, back to what you love, and 26, relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. So 3 and 8. So the back to what you love says your current situation is giving you an opportunity to reevaluate what you want. So this not only like echoes the message from the Scrying Mirror for the tail end of the week, but it also talks about this War of the Roses and seeing where there's conflict and moving into acceptance of what no longer works. And then for the message of the relax the hold of darkness and be it cause, I'm going to read from the book. Dear Sacred Rebel, this moment in your life requires great courage. Fortunately, you possess that in bucket loads. You are being asked to allow yourself to be lifted out of one level of known reality and into the next level of higher voltage reality. Higher voltage reality requires a more absolute trust in a heart that is surrendered into the greater heart of the universe so that life can happen to us, through us, and with us more quickly, more radically, more beautifully, and more boldly. You are now being invited into this new reality where things happen quickly and according to bold, loving optimism. This is a reality not only of potential but of manifestation of the great, big, cosmic yes. To access this reality, you have to leap from known waters, and others may think you are crazy for doing so. You have to leave behind the dark, weighty grip of hesitation, procrastination, second guessing, and the belief you have to do everything on your own. You may fear your own life. How will you be safe in the wild electrical pulse of so much aliveness? How will you function without the hazy, sleep-induced paralysis of playing it safe, taking too long, and placing lesser priorities above your sacred art of life? How will you hold yourself back if you don't hold on to fear? You do not need to worry about such things. Life is wild, but it is also wise. It is a force of startling, raw awakening at times, but it is also the natural process of evolution where all things mature according to a seasonal cycle in right timing. You are a part of, not apart from, that process. Does this mean that we become passive and just flow along like a limp leaf, detached from the tree and blown about randomly by the breeze? No. Being free of the dark hold empowers us to take up our cause. This means being free to act and affirm the intuitive feelings we have been following up on them. This is painting like someone who has lost their mind completely free and from the heart. It means writing even though you have no conscious idea of what you are writing, even as the words are streaming forth upon the page before your rather curious eyes. And it means speaking about your work, never hiding it away. Allow it to breathe the fresh air and be held in the gaze of another, detached from the darkness that would say it is not enough or must be the best thing ever, whatever that means. In order to be worthy of a place in the world, instead, just let it be what it is. It might fly, it might endure, and it might not. All of nature, including you and your passions and dreams, will be what is needed, when it is needed, and how it is needed, according to wisdom. We just have to trust in this within ourselves and within nature herself, through the flow of life, and participate. You are being asked to go within and imagine diving deep off the edge of what you have known. There is so much more calling to you now. It is your time. Leap. So enormous. I mean, again, this is why I was like, this is really a message about changing your environment. And again, it could be, I feel most strongly it applies to career change and really getting devotional and active with your mission work. However, it could mean, getting rid of those loose ends of things that are not serving you in any way. So for the healing process, we bring our hands into prayer and we close our eyes. So we take a breath in and a breath out. And take these words on as our own. I accept the offer of life so that I may truly live. Through unconditional love, I now invite and receive all assistance, intervention, protection, and inspiration so that I may leap into my next cycle of life, held in the loving grace of wisdom. So be it, so be it, so be it. Thank you, God. Thank you, angels. Thank you, Spirit of love and light. I ask for courage and bravery to all the divine feminines that are in this huge transitionary state in their life. I pray that everybody finds their truth and removes any negative, heavy-weighted energy and is able to accept what is currently happening in their life and be a clear conduit of love, light, power, and healing energy. Thank you, God. Thank you, angels. Thank you, Spirit of love and light. I am wishing you all a Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays. I cannot wait to talk to you next week. I love you so much. Mwah.